The fucking motorcycle guy was like, fuck yeah, it hurts. My bone's sticking out of my leg. Like, what are you, stupid? Okay, so today I'm going to tell the story about the time, let's see, this is probably sometime around 2000. It could have been 1999, it could have been 2001, but it was somewhere in that ballpark. I was working for Tahoe Fence Company up at Lake Tahoe, and we were on our way down from the hill, end of the day, and we're driving down the hill, and the next thing you know, we get passed like nothing. Like we're standing still by the semi truck, and I'm pretty sure he passed us on the outside, and it was like we immediately knew something was wrong. So you could smell the brakes, and obviously, like, I mean, we were going pretty quick, and this guy just flew by us. So I've never seen a semi going like that. Just barreling down this hill, and we're like, oh shit, it's lost its brakes. And we're behind him, and he goes around this turn, and his trailer actually comes off the ground. He's like on two wheels, and there's a divider down Highway 50, and it's just like dragging into the divider, and he makes the turn. I'm like, okay. And then, so he starts getting close to a runaway truck ramp. And I've been driving up and down from Lake Tahoe for a few years now, working for this company, and when you drive by those runaway truck ramps, I just remember always thinking, like, I want to see a truck use that. Like, what happens? What's it look like? We come up on this runaway truck ramp, and I'm like, I'm going to get to see it, like, live. This dude's going to hit the runaway truck ramp. This shit's happening. So, the guy, he is coming up on the runaway truck ramp, and if I'm not mistaken, there was like a car in the way, and he couldn't quite get over soon enough. So he actually passed the runaway truck ramp, and I'm pretty sure it was at that spot for a reason, because he passed that, and the next turn was just too sharp of a turn, and the whole semi flipped over. And the trailer went on the other side of the median in Highway 50, and the semi just slides down, and it takes out all the oncoming traffic. So this trailer's just like sliding down, takes out all the traffic that's coming up Highway 50, and immediately the semi catches on fire. The fuel tanks are spilling out, diesel's going everywhere, and from the sparks or whatever, it catches on fire. Right away, my foreman, shout out to Mark Mello, he thinks super quick, he grabs, we had a fire extinguisher in the truck, a commercial vehicle, he grabs the fire extinguisher, he runs up, tries to put it out, but it was just too hot, or I've heard that diesel doesn't go out very well from like fire extinguishers and stuff. It's like pouring water on a grease fire, so it just like spread it, and he's trying to get it out, and the fuel tanks catch on fire, and it just got too hot. He had to back up. So we're standing so close. We're like, we can't get the driver out. So the driver, he's stuck in there. It's burning up. There's nothing we can do. We just have to watch it. It gets so hot. The flames are like 30 feet in the air. It's so hot, we're like, we have to back up, and we think we gotta back the work truck up. It's literally gonna melt, like the truck. So we back the work truck up, and we're getting out of the truck again to see if there's anything we can do to help. And somebody yells, hey, we've got a guy stuck in a truck over here. And when that trailer slid down the road, there was this little Toyota pickup driving up Lake Tahoe, and he tried to go up on the bank to avoid the trailer, but he couldn't. The trailer still hit him, and his truck was like this, almost 90 degrees, just stuck into the trailer. And so I go running down there, flames going. We thought this guy could be in danger just from the fire. So we get up to the truck. My boss followed me, and at this time I was in first responder school. I had aspirations to be an EMT paramedic, and so this was just like everything I had trained for, you know. So I get up to that truck, I'm like, ask the guy, are you okay? Are you conscious? You know, he's just moaning in agony. There's like blood all over his teeth. I think his teeth were on his chest and stuff. It was all adrenaline packed. I can't remember exactly, but this dude's all bloody. He's like, it's so hot from those flames, and then all of a sudden, boom, big explosion. And I thought like the fuel tanks exploded or something, but some guy yelled, it was just the air compressor. So on a big rig, they have an air compressor that runs the brakes, and that thing must have just blown up from the heat. So boom, next thing you know, tires start blowing up. So the tires on this rig start popping. So I'm like, hey man, I don't know if you're in danger, and obviously you shouldn't move somebody that's just been in a serious car accident, but I thought he was in danger. I said, if you want, I'll pull you out of this truck. And he said, get me out. So my boss picks me up, lowers me down through the window, and I get this guy from underneath his arms. I grab him up like that, and I tell my boss, let's go. We pull him up. I'll never forget the scream that guy let out when I pulled him out of that truck. Just blood curdling. I mean, I could only imagine the pain. But we felt like we had to do it to get him out of danger. We pull him up, we get him on the other side of the truck. He is just screaming in agony. By this time, oh God, the paramedics arrive, and a fire truck arrives, and they've got this badass foam they just spray all over. It had spread over, it was starting a little forest fire. The fire department put it out. The paramedics come up. I'm talking to this guy, just trying to keep him calm and just keep him from going into shock. And the paramedics come and they're like, this guy starts getting combative. They're trying to help him, but he's out of his mind, you know. And so I knew, I'd asked him his name, and I don't remember what it was, but I was like, hey, Jim, or whatever, like, these guys are trying to help. And they were like, do you know him? And I was like, no, I've been talking to him. And they're like, okay, you stay with him. And so I just kept talking to him. Those guys let me help carry the stretcher. Care Flight lands on Highway 50. I get to help load this guy in the stretcher, and like for an aspiring EMT, that was just like the baddest ass thing to get to help. No sooner do we get this guy loaded onto Care Flight than I hear, we've got some motorcycles trapped. And so we go down and we start looking at like, what's going on here? And that guy, the semi, was hauling crates of grapes. And when he hit that truck and all the other traffic, all those crates of grapes just buried this group of motorcycle riders. I mean, and they were still like, two of them were still upright. Like they just got encased in grape crates. And so all the people that were, you know, lined up, backing up traffic and stuff, we made a big line, and we just started picking up these crates and unburying these guys on the motorcycle. And we get it down to where the paramedics can get to him. One of the dudes, he had his bone sticking out of his leg. He's just sitting on his bike, bone out. Paramedics like, does that hurt? I'll never forget the fucking motorcycle guy was like, fuck yeah, it hurts. My bone's sticking out of my leg. Like, what are you, stupid? And so we get those guys out, they get the fire out, and we had to fill out police reports, and we actually couldn't, we were pretty close to Carson City, but they wouldn't let us go through the accident. We had to turn around and drive back up and come down through Kingsbury Grade. And it was just the craziest story ever. So we get back the next day, the newspaper, someone had taken a picture of me running towards that first guy in the truck, wearing my Sweet Tahoe fence shirt, and I was on the front page of the newspaper, like running towards the flames like some kind of hero or something. I wasn't a hero. I was scared shitless. I was just stuck in this situation, and all I knew to do was try and help that guy. Unfortunately, the guy in the semi never made it out. He died in there. We all just kind of hoped that he died in the crash and not burning up inside there, or at least if that happened, he was unconscious for that part. But he didn't make it, but the guy in the Toyota did make it. And I think everybody else did. I was supposed to testify, but then I don't know if they ended up settling or something, and there ended up never being a court case, so I didn't have to testify. And if I'm not mistaken, they still have that newspaper article in the Tahoe Fence office. So if you're ever out there checking out fences or whatever, see if you see that newspaper clipping of me looking like a real hero charging some flames. And that is my tale from the match.